Palace Pets, Berry. The Big Rescue. One afternoon, Berry was bounding through the forest. As she passed blueberry bush after blueberry bush, she plucked every berry in sight. The little bunny loved the taste of blueberries, but after eating so many of them that morning, she was thirsty. Berry decided to fetch a drink of water at the well. As Berry hopped along, she remembered that wells weren't just for water, they were also for wishing. The little bunny knew that once upon a time, Snow White had made a wish at the well. The princess had wished that her prince would find her, and her wish came true. Berry decided that when she got to the well, she will wish for a bucket of nice cold water to drink. When Berry reached the well, she was excited to see that her wish was about to come true. There was a big wooden bucket sitting on the ledge of the well. Seeing the bucket made Berry even thirstier, so she hopped up onto the ledge of the well to get a closer look. But just as Berry was about to peer into the bucket, the shy little bunny heard footsteps coming from the woods. The noise grew louder and louder as the footsteps trampled over twigs and leaves. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Berry was so startled by the strange sounds that she immediately hopped inside the bucket to hide. She was much too shy to wait and see whom the footsteps belonged to. After all, what if it was a monster of some scary beast that liked to eat bunnies? Unfortunately, Berry jumped inside the bucket so quickly that she accidentally knocked it from the ledge of the well. The bucket was now dangling dangerously over the water, swinging back and forth with Berry inside. No problem, thought Berry. I'll just hop right out. But whenever she tried to move, the bucket would tip, swing the way, and that Berry wasn't sure what to do. The little bunny thought, pondered and puzzled. How she could get out of the bucket? Then Berry realized just how high she actually was. Fortunately, the mysterious footsteps belonged to Snow White's pony, Sweetie. The pony had been on a walk through the woods in search of her own delicious snack. In fact, Sweetie had picked up the scent of a pie in the air, and she was hot on its trail. That is, until she was distracted by another trail, a trail of blueberries. Sweetie followed the tasty trail. The berries led her to the well, where she noticed a peculiar sight. 2 bunny ears poking out of a bucket. Blueberries and bunny ears can only mean one thing, thought Sweetie. Berry, the pony asked, "Are you in there?" "Yes," said Berry. "I was thirsty, but now I'm thirsty and stuck. Can you please help me?" "Of course," Sweetie replied. "But how?" Sweetie ambled around the well to investigate. It was pretty large and the well was rather high. She wasn't nearly as good of hopper as Berry was, and her hooves could be clumsy sometimes. The last thing she wanted was to knock Berry out of the bucket by accident. Finally, Sweetie formed a plan. First, she carefully placed her two front hooves on the ledge of the well to steady herself. Then she stretched out her neck, delicately used her teeth to grab on the rope that was holding the bucket, and, with a gentle tug, pulled Berry back to safety. "Thank you," said Berry as she gave Sweetie a hug. The bunny was happy to be back on solid ground and very thankful that her good friend had appeared just in time to rescue her from the well. "Come along," Sweetie said. "I think Snow White has baked a pie. I was following the scent before I found you. Can you smell it?" Together, the two friends hurried toward the castle. Berry had to hop extra fast to keep up with Sweetie, but when they finally reached the kitchen door, there wasn't a pie in sight. "I thought for sure Snow White was baking," said Sweetie. "And I do smell something sweet," said Berry. Berry and Sweetie were about to walk back to the forest when Snow White appeared at the door. "There are my two favorite pets," the princess said. "I thought you might come by for a visit, so my friends and I made a treat for you." Then the princess came out of the kitchen holding a freshly baked blueberry pie. Happily following right behind was Happy with a second perfect pie. Berry and Sweetie started to prance with glee. Each pet was going to have a pie of her very own. The two friends spent the rest of the afternoon out in the courtyard, enjoying their pies and the warm sunshine. Just as they finished eating, Dopey wandered by with a bucket filled with water. "Thank goodness," thought Berry. "I'm even thirstier than before." The end.